What's good? What's good? What's good? What's going on with everybody? What's going on? I'm a little groggy. Apologize. I'm a little groggy. What's good? What's going on with everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Kush Equilibrium. I am your always smoking host, Oops Great. I've been trying real hard to get y'all some different type of content. I always want to push some thought, but try to stay as current or keep topics relatively relevant. So we're gonna take a little break from the Drake and Kendrick nonsense because it's never ending. I feel like we really could take up a month, 2-3 month break from it, and that story still be percolating and bubbling. So we ain't gonna be really missing nothing. Plus, worst case scenario, something really big happened. Obviously, what I was saying, I'm gonna dive into it, and we're gonna talk about it. What we're gonna do today, though, we're gonna focus in on a weasel that's been moving around behind the scenes for a little bit. And only peeks his head out the hole when it's convenient for him to, create some BS. But without dilly-dallying, we're going to get straight into it. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because the channel, the views is smacking. The subscriptions, they a little delayed. They coming, but they a little delayed. But I appreciate y'all nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all didn't have to click it. Y'all could have just scrolled on and clicked somebody else's shit. So without further ado, please like, comment, subscribe, like I said, all that good stuff, so we can, spread it out. If you're smoking, spark it up. If you got something to drink on, pour it up. Let's get into this video. So, the character I'm speaking of, right, is 50 Cent. I've always had I would say, troubling opinion of 50 Cent. I've never really believed in the caricature of 50 Cent. I just never bought it. So throughout the years, I've kind of kept a careful eye on what this dude is doing and what he been doing lately, yo. I just don't respect it. I don't respect it. So I managed to find a video. This video is by, matter of fact, let me click. I got another screen over here. I'm trying to hold on one second because I want to make sure I give proper credit. Credit is due. So we gonna go down to this video is from where is this video from? Hood War Chronicles. This video is from Hood War Chronicles. They do pretty good deep dives into their topics. So I'm about to light up and we're gonna see what they talking about on here. I skimmed through it a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing. For one, I know I'm not going to use the whole thing, and I typically don't like to watch the whole show until I got time to really sit, especially if it's something longer. Like this is only 21 minutes, so once I get done getting the video out to you guys, I'm gonna actually sit and watch the whole video. I usually just skim through it in the beginning just to see exactly how much of a clip I'm going to use and where I should start it, so that way we're not using his entire content, because that's not cool.
He is not only making headlines in our backyards, he's the talk of the national entertainment media.
Police here arrested and charged him for first-degree murder, and as talk circulates around his hometown.
Boosie is back in handcuffs, charged with first-degree murder. The Baton Rouge Homicide Task Force says the rapper was involved in a shooting at this house.
My dad. Rap beefs are nothing new. Disses get tossed around, shots get fired, and most of the time it's just part of the game. But when someone with a past as wild as an alleged ex-serial killer gets pulled into the mix, that's when things go from just words to something way more intense. And in this case, that someone is Boosie.
Lil Boosie got a lot of victims. He met a lot of people. He had a tattoo on his chest that says, Boosie, who next?
For one, obviously I know who Boosie is. I didn't know he was that formidable. I didn't. Again, if you new to the channel, there came a point in time with music where I tapped out. It was fake and phony. It seemed like we had fake gangster rappers who wasn't really beating the block like that. They wasn't hugging the streets like that. So I just couldn't do it. So I just tapped out. And now with me tapping back in a major way like I am now, I'm starting to get more of background history on a lot of people. And just from the brief little skimming I did of this in another video, because I was trying to really decide which video I wanted to use, because the ultimate topic is about 50 Cent. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use this or the other one, but to hear the extent of this man's history, and I'm gonna let the video put it on for y'all. I know we're not supposed to big up street shit, hood shit, stuff that make us look bad as a people, but I'm sorry, I gotta salute real. If you're a real bad guy, fine, you're a real bad guy. I'm not about to judge you. Be the best bad guy you can be. I understand that everybody in the world not gonna be enlightened. So I'm gonna put that little 2 cents in there, but let's get back to this video.
See, in the streets, Boosie isn't the type to play games. When people talk about real gangsters, his name always comes up. His past, his reputation, everything about him just carries that weight. And trust me, you do not want to end up on his bad side.
He's a real gangster.
Like, is he really?
Like, he's a real gangster. Wow. And that's the thing that people don't realize about Boosie. Like, Boosie got like 30 to 40 around him all the time.
Now here's where things get messy. 50 might have just crossed a line he shouldn't have. Ever since Big Meech got out, 50's been on his case, throwing shots and allegedly even getting one of his upcoming projects shut down, which sent the internet into a frenzy. And one person who wasn't allegedly about to let that slide is Boosie. Word is he wasn't feeling any of it and decided to supposedly throw shots at 50.
Thank you.
My dad. So how did all of this even start? Let's get into it. We all know Big Meech got locked up for some wild stuff back in 2005, right? But just a couple of months ago, he walked out a free man, and the internet has been losing its mind ever since.
He was convicted of running a...
I am the director of post-production and head of YouTube at Iconic Saga, Cam Newton's production company. Last month, both our channels...
Huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit.
I'm gonna correct him real quick. It didn't stretch from... It didn't stretch from Atlanta to Detroit. It stretched from Detroit to Atlanta. When you talk about Big Meech, you put Detroit first and then name the other city. I'm just saying, let's make sure everything's factual. Detroit first, then Atlanta.
And several other states. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison.
Fans are talking, rumors are flying, and it's pretty obvious why. Big Meech isn't just some random figure in hip-hop. If you go back in time, he had connections with some of the biggest and most dangerous names in the game.
Including some of the most dangerous crime lords on the planet. Meet Big Meech, founder and leader of the Black Mafia family, aka BMF, which at one point was one of the biggest criminal organizations in the US.
And now that he is out, 50 Cent decided to stir things up. And it's...
Before we get to that part, just comparing the two men, because I don't appreciate the way 50 going at Big Meech. let's just stay on some street-ish for a minute. If you compare what 50 was on the streets and what Big Meech was on the streets, 50 being a street nigga, right? He know how the street work. And there's a thing about, you know what I'm saying, there's something to respecting your OGs, right? 50 was never on no Big Meech level. Let's call it what it is, man. And that's a big part of why I'm like, huh? We all know 50 like coming at people. He be bored. Cause I'm trying to keep in mind that he a smart man. You don't make BMF and all the other things that you managed to create and profit off of over the years without having some semblance of intelligence. So with that being said, how come that intelligence didn't turn on or register in this situation with Big Meech, regardless of how you may be feeling? So I'm just saying, just on the surface, and we're gonna keep diving into it as they go through. I want them to really go through the shit, but on the surface, just on the surface level, without going into the real details, you would think from one street nigga to another street nigga, right? That respect for the ones who did it before you, at least to the motherfuckers that I be around, for that's you know, live the street life their entire life. That's big to them. You know what I'm saying? I actually tried to get somebody I know I want them to speak on some stuff, but again, street politics is not readily something that you really talk about on YouTube. So I'm gonna figure out a way to get it done without, you know what I'm saying, secrets being told that ain't supposed to be told. But we'll dive into that towards the end of the video.
It's turning into a full-blown firestorm. The main reason being that Meech linked up with Rick Ross right after getting out. And if you know anything about hip-hop, you know 50 and Ross have been beefing for ages. So 50 started going in, clowning Meech nonstop for hanging with Ross. But that wasn't even the worst part. He straight up accused Meech and his child, Lil Meech, of working with a federal informant to take people down. You told Tammy to tell B, 50 posted, doubling down on the snitching claims. Meech clapped back real quick, saying, I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always.
I wasn't going to address
the code. That's the code.
Because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the street.
Death before dishonor.
But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always.
But 50 wasn't buying it. He trolled Meech even harder, saying he was reading off a script like he had a teleprompter in front of him. Then, things really took a turn when Meech and Rick Ross planned a massive welcome back concert where Ross was set to perform his hit BMF, Live for Meech. But just hours before showtime, the whole event got canceled. No explanation, nothing. Fans of
50 Cent aside, because I hear it was some behind the scene pushing to make that happen or not happen. Rick Ross, bro, how you let another motherfucker have enough push and sway on your own function that you doing for somebody you supposed to be fucking with heavy to not happen? How he get that off? That's like a nigga canceling your birthday party. Hey, picture you about to throw a birthday soiree. You know what I'm saying? You got your 50 personal guests and all this other stuff. It's a big showdown. You about to turn up. It's like turning 40 or 45 for a man or some shit. That's that. You know what I'm saying? You get into your old head years, you trying to have one more good. Let's get it in. And then right before you get ready to, we about to turn this motherfucker up. Somebody come along like, nah, put them cords, wrap this shit up. This over with. This ain't happening. Hey, get that. Yeah, put it back in the case. Hey, put the cake back in the box. Cut me a piece though. Yeah, they don't need that. This ain't happening. Yep. Everybody pick up one chair so this don't take too long. What? That's how it looked to me. Y'all tell me in the comments how it looked to y'all. They don't look that way. That's like that's a nigga canceling your birthday party, B. I'm saying, moving 50 aside for a minute. Whatever happened to one monkey don't stop no show? Look, we looking at the monkey. Curtis Jackson. How you let the monkey stop the show? That's one singular monkey.
Immediately started pointing fingers at 50. He denied it, of course, but not without getting the last laugh. I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm stronger than you think I am.
That's
and
a petty man.
People thought that.
Let me show you why I stopped paying for all my other sample libraries. This is Arcade by Output. This thing has sounds, samples, instruments, effects.
That was the end of it. 50 kept the beef alive. Because let's be real, if there's one thing we know about him, it's that he never lets a grudge go. And this time he dragged in Big Meech's son, Lil Meech. Now,
this where it went too far with me.
While
this
Big
was
Meech
too far.
was locked up, 50 actually looked out for Lil Meech, even making sure he stayed in school. He was like a father figure to the kid.
Man, it's still a surreal moment to me. When I first met 50, I was still trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, man, what you gonna do? Like, shit, I don't know. He called me one day. He's like, man, they looking at Terrence Howard and Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to play me, but you gotta go to acting class so you can get ready. So I met 50. 50 put me in acting classes for 2 years in LA.
But once all this drama started, Lil Meech stayed quiet. Except 50 noticed he laughed at.
When he did that initially, everybody like, 50 a real nigga, man. He looking out, you know what I'm saying? He's showing hella love, you know what I'm saying? The average motherfucker don't do no shit like that. And I was always like, yeah, that's cool. But this is 50 show, right? Like, he is making millions of dollars off the show, right? So this kind of is business, right? So that was kind of like a business investment, right? Right. Okay, I just want to make sure we where we need to be at.
One of his dad's posts about him. And if you know 50, you know that was enough for him to go off. 50 went straight to Instagram, posting a message from Lil Meech, which is where Boozy Badazz steps in. Boozy wasn't feeling how 50 handled the situation. I didn't like his response, but it seems like he got genuine love for 50 in his response. Boozy said about Meech's text where he told 50, I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty.
Lil Meech, I ain't like his response, but it seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response.
Boozy was
about Lil Meech's response, man. I think we need to show that man a little sympathy, a little bit. I'm saying a little bit, because at the end of the day, he fucked up. I understand being in a position to where a motherfucker has done life-changing shit for you. Life-changing. His life has changed. He ain't trying to figure out how to pay bills and what's he gonna eat next, and man, my belly hurt and all that. He good. He's I can't say forever good, because they burn through money at a rate that us regular people can't understand. But to have somebody do that for you, it kind of puts you in a state of, I have to forever admire you. I have to forever be grateful. Like, I can't be inappreciative for a moment because I could be out here slumming. I could be out here still trying to figure this shit out. And the weight of that, I could see how it could make it hard to show some type of ire towards 50 Cent on the way he came at his daddy. I could understand it. We got to be logical. Let's be logical. However, let's let the video go a little bit more, and I'm gonna finish the rest of this point because I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to come off like I'm talking off both sides of my motherfucking neck. It's a all together opinion on the situation, but I could understand how one thought process or one opinion can run counter to the other. So let's keep going.
With that at all. He straight up said, my response would be, Ninja, F you. That's my daddy. F you, Ninja. Let's go to war.
My dad.
Of course.
Boom. Boom. Fuck you. That's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? What you thought this was? Because let's call it what it is. The show hit harder when you know is Big Meech's son playing him. You know what I'm saying? You two, that make you want to tune in a little extra. Like, hold on, that's his son. Oh, I know this about to go. That role would have lost some of its luster if you would have found some little Hollywood A-lister. Let's call it what it is. Going to get one of them light-skinned brothers out of Hollywood who own the fringes of Hollywood. So that means they got enough edge to them to try to play the role. Wasn't gonna play how 50 Cent or nobody else thought it was gonna play. He needed Lil Meech. Let's be for real. And that's why I think Lil Meech played that shit kind of soft. Like, man, fuck you. I might be benefiting from this partnership, my nigga, but you definitely benefiting too. Because the check you get definitely gonna be bigger than the check I'm getting. He played that too soft. But when people feel like they got you in a henpecked position, they apply pressure like that when they ain't good, they ain't solid people. And 50, just like any other business venture or business pairing that he finds himself in, he always tries to make sure, and this is a shrewd move as a businessman, he tries to do business in a way to where he always the dominant opinion, the main, he need to be the bigger figure in every part of business he do. Unless he look at it and there's no way for that to happen and he has to pussyfoot a little bit, cool. But for the most part, 50 likes to do business with his presence over you, so you feel like, I need to do what this motherfucker want me to do type shit. And you dealing with a little nigga at the time or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He trying to, like he said, he's trying to find a way. And I can't not get this role. This is about my daddy. So I'm gonna do whatever you need me to do to get this role. I need this because my daddy need this. We need this. But I feel like he showed his hand too much. Like he showed it. He like it oozed out of your pores. Yeah, you need me. No, you need the Meech name. This is BMF. You need the Meech name. I'm officially from that stock. You need me, bro. Stop trying to muscle me like you just replace me like that and it's gonna fly. Try to run that whole show right now without Lil Meech. Tell me how that worked out.
Verse 50 wasn't done. He posted a since-deleted IG clip from Boozy's interview writing, I did more for Mimi than anyone in his life, Boozy. That's why he responded like that. If he gets locked up, I'm the first person he calls. I bailed him out every time. When I saw him laughing at his pop's post, I said, "Osh, he a snake too. He belong with him."
For one, for 50 to have all the muscles, to be that big, pause. That's sensitive. That's sensitive. You laughed at your daddy joke about me. I ain't fucking with you no more. You don't play fair. Get my ball. Pause. You knew I was gonna pause that one. Like, fuck around with that. That was moist. That was like moist activity from 50 Cent. Hey, that's that boy daddy. I said that's that boy daddy. Nothing else mattered in this story, unfortunately. I mean, we're gonna watch a little bit more because they got some other shit I want to get into. But the running thesis of this story is that's that boy daddy. Hell, low key, you perpetrating the divide between a man and his son, a black man and his son. If we ever want to have a moment where we shouldn't be saying, look what the man did, look what 50 did. He telling a black man to go against his father. But most of us ain't had one. And he went a long time without his. So what gives 50 the clout to do that? If you really want to take the true question out of this whole scenario, it's really that. We can finish diving into the Hollywood goofy shit too. But the real life part of this, that's a black man telling another black man to choose him over his father. If our own is gonna go that far to separate black households like that, and the government really ain't got to do it. Not do that.
Him. Now, if you know anything about Boozy, you know he wasn't just talking. He meant every word. And to understand...
Check out how this app helped me buy whatever I want in my favorite game. Unlimited money makes it so you can get what you want from the game, right from jump, without...
that, you gotta go back to where it all started. Boozy's story kicks off in the middle of all the chaos, deep in the West Roosevelt projects where life is about survival, period. That's where Torrance Hatch Jr., aka Lil Boozy, was born on November 14th, 1982. Growing up in that environment, it was rough. Violence, drugs, and the kind of stuff no kid should ever have to see were just a normal part of life.
It's like what happened, back to back. When Becker's doing the same thing, but
I had to learn from my uncles and all my older cousins, and they real gangsters. So I just lost it.
And home, not much easier. His mom was doing her best as a middle school principal, respected in the community but barely making ends meet. His dad, a street hustler always in and out, never really around. Despite all that, his mom had high hopes for him. She wanted him to be like his older brother, Taquari Hatch, who was on the straight and narrow heading to college. But Boozy was already headed down a different road.
Lil Boosie got a lot of victims. He met a lot of people. He had a tattoo on his chest that says, Boosie, who next?
In 1997, tragedy struck. Boozy's father, his superhero, lost his battle with cancer. And just like that, his world shattered. School, basketball, none of that mattered anymore.
I'm only playing a couple minutes of this part just to show context for those of us who didn't really know the history of Boosie. I just want to include a couple of minutes of that so y'all can really see Like, it's a reason people are careful about how they move around this man. I didn't know it.
He stepped into his new persona, Lil Boosie. At just 14, he jumped headfirst into the streets of South Baton Rouge, a place where crossing the wrong person could get you taken out fast. With nothing to his name, he built himself up alongside his two closest friends, Daryl Bleak Milton and Ivy Smith, aka Lil Ivy.
The main right here. When y'all see this,
Bleak was the muscle, Ivy was the ladies' man, and Boosie, he was the leader. But they had one more wild card in the mix, Nicholas Lil Fat Sterling. Don't let his good looks fool you. Fat was the first one to pop off if things got heated. Together they ran South Baton Rouge. While Boosie was deep in the streets, his brother Taquari was off at Southern University taking the right path. But Boosie had a different calling. By 16, he realized his real passion, music. Yeah, the fast money was nice, but telling his story was the real game changer. He started recording at a local studio, and before he knew it, his music was catching fire.
I know about Baton Rouge because of Boosie.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how big of a figure was Boosie when you were growing up?
He wasn't that big of a figure really until college. He was a popular guy at the high school, like everybody loved him. Then when I went away to college and I came back, it was like he had become this big rapper, and then he was pretty much the voice of Baton Rouge from then on.
Enter Trill Entertainment, a label run by Uptown legends Marcus Turk Roach and Melvin Mel Vernell. They saw the potential and signed Boosie as a solo artist. The deal gave Boosie enough money to leave the trenches for good. But why would he? He was a star in his own city, rolling around with flashy cars, stacks of cash, and any girl he wanted. He knew trouble would find him eventually, but he had some serious muscle backing him. For a while, it was all love. Boosie on top with his closest boys. But Lil Ivy, he wasn't just content being Boosie's right-hand man. In 2004, he started dropping his own music and the streets were eating it up. Even Trillent wanted to sign him. You'd think Boosie would be hyped right. Rumor was he wasn't. Word spread that when Trill reached out, Boosie wasn't picking up.
I think because about a signing, I think because I forgot exactly what it was. I don't want to lie to y'all. It was about something.
Hey, why is it we always find ourselves dealing with some type of crabs in the barrel type situation? Like, why can't we get on, help the next motherfucker get on, and then, on and on from there? And if they still fuck with me after they get their own little light, cool. If they don't, that's cool too. That just tell me what your character was. Like you can't find out people's flaws until you let them show you. Like, it's motherfuckers that got people around them right now thinking they loyal, they ride or die, they with you for life. If you need them, they there. But don't realize you go out your way to keep them so content that why would they ever not be around you? Think about it. You got somebody that you always giving rides to that you really don't want to. Somebody ain't ever got no weed, but you always like, all right, I got you, whatever. Somebody ain't never got no groceries or something, but all right, I got y'all. You got somebody that always needs something, but you continuously just go out of your way for whatever reasons. Just, here you go. Just saying. Sometimes you gotta tell the motherfucker, no, I need to know what you is.
Something about a deal or something. It was something.
Don't let people do what they gonna do.
Yeah, that's what it was. Amy wanted to sign Ivy, and Boosie ain't won't answer the phone.
That tension changed things. Ivy and Fat started moving differently, hitting clubs without Boosie, making their own moves. Ivy, he was on the rise. Talent.
Looking to skyrocket your YouTube channel? Let Sprizzy boost you to the top. Using YouTube ads, Sprizzy targets viewers.
Good looking and with a street rep to back it up. But success
I
breeds
don't
jealousy,
find what they
and that's when things got dark. March 19th, 2005. Club
They think
Vibes,
it's
Port
showing
Allen,
you that
Ivy
these
and
motherfuckers
Fat pull
serious.
up,
They
getting
trying to
all the
get it.
attention. But Uptown's dope
I
celebrity
don't see no
family,
problem with that
DCF,
motherfucker shine.
a
Maybe
crew
that's
hungry
just
for
me.
respect, wasn't feeling it. Tension built, words were exchanged, but security kept things from popping off. Still, DCF had their new target. 2 weeks later, on Ivy's 25th birthday, Boozy, feeling guilty for missing the celebration, decided to pull up late with gifts, but the energy was off. Right then, DCF walked in. Big Mar threw hands, chaos broke out, and Boozy got pulled out before it got worse. Later that night, Ivy left the club, heading home. He never made it. As he exited the freeway, another car rolled up, windows down, shots fired. Just like that, Ivy was gone. Baton Rouge was in shock. The streets whispered Boozy's name.
I think because about a signing, I think because I forgot exactly what it was. I don't want to lie to y'all. It was about something about a deal or something. It was something dealing with something like that. Yeah, I haven't stopped f***ing with you tonight, You came to the club yourself trying to give a pint of syrup, trying to say you sorry. That, yeah.
But those who were there knew. This had DCF written all over it. But how did DCF know Ivy's moves? Some said Lil Pig. Ivy's
always
friend
somebody
set him
close to
up.
you.
But when the murder
It's always
weapon
somebody
surfaced 2
close
months
to you.
later,
They
the
sell
guy
you
caught
out,
with
bro.
it had an airtight alibi. The mystery deepened. Boozy never let Ivy's name die. He took care of Ivy's family, became a father figure to his son, and
up.
kept his memory alive in his music. Over time, the rumors faded. But then, in 2007, Big Marquis made a mistake, bragging about that club fight, even calling himself Mr. Two-Piece.
Typical rap shit. Typical rap shit, right?
On top of that, word spread that Lil Pig had set Ivy up. And that's when Lil Finn had to make a choice. Stay loyal to Boozy and Ivy, or side with his cousin Lil Pig. If you knew Finn, you knew his answer. April 19th, 2008. Lil Pig and his mother were found in his Acura TL, parked right in front of her house. This wasn't random. This was a message. And the fact that it happened at his aunt's house? Yeah, the streets didn't need proof. They knew it was Finn. Boozy made it clear where he stood, shouting Finn out in his music as Gangster Nick, calling him his light-skinned stepper with 2 Glocks and a stick.
Nick, and he changed in the blink of an eye. Everybody gotta die. Beast mode, look gangster and Nick shooting like a bitch. You're going crazy, can't nobody tell him. Get out the window, left hand with a stick in his head.
But karma always comes back around. December 9th, 2008. Finn got into an argument with a dude named Donald Eli in South Baton Rouge.
I'll stop it right there because I don't think the rest of that got nothing to do with it. Y'all get the gist. I want to show y'all who Boosie was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want you to think I'm just gonna get in a random opinion of somebody who ain't got no skin in the game, no juice in the game, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Boosie, how far Boosie gonna take it with 50. As far as that part, I can't get a real read on it because, like I said, it don't feel Hollywoodish. It feels street. Like, there's certain principles you're not supposed to play with, and that you being like a jealous side nigga with a nigga and his son, like you being a jealous side nigga. Which is crazy. Like, you 50 Cent, you ain't got nothing else better to do. But yeah, 50, man, 50 be perpetrating some shit that we don't. I don't fuck with 50 personally. I can't tell you the last time I ever played a 50 Cent track. Like, think about it. Dr. Dre don't fuck with 50. That's Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre don't fuck with that nigga, man. Eminem fuck with him because he got to. Like, they kind of gotta fuck with each other. Like, if you ever really found out that they wasn't fucking with each other, there was a real beef between the two of them, it would fuck up the East Coast some major because of the historical placement when it comes to East Coast hip hop. So you can't have them two like not fucking with each other, especially in the Midwest, like with Midwest, East Coast, you know, Detroit, New York, whatever. Yeah, I'm just shocked. Now that I sit and really thought about, after you remove all the egos and all that Hollywood shit and the show, remove all of it. None of that matters. End of the day, a grown man is throwing a hissy fit at another grown man for choosing his daddy over him. And that's moist. That's like moist activity. I just wanted to show that to y'all, man. This motherfucking video already like 40 something fucking minutes. So we'll get this chopped up because these videos be taking forever, and I done changed up my smokage. So I've been a little stoned by the time I get done. Like today was, I don't know what to do. This is some green light OG. I think I mixed this one too. Hold on, let me see. I like that y'all know what I be smoking on. Green light OG. Oh my God, I can't read this. Where's the name? You know what? Elephant ears? Elephant ears? They need to make these labels universal. Like, all labels need to be looking the same on these packages. But I appreciate y'all. This was Kush Equilibrium. It was great. See you in the seat.